Now, once you've scanned your client and can see the distortions and imbalances in their energetic body field, the NES software then recommends a personalized set of remedies to drink. Now, these are drops that are imprinted with information which literally reset their bioenergetic body field. Now, we call these Infoceuticals. It enhances the strength of their body field and it regulates the energy flow of information. Now, thanks to Infoceuticals, I eventually healed my chronic fatigue syndrome after being bedridden and searching for a cure for almost 8 whole years. And what Professor Pollock has been able to show is that water under certain conditions, i.e. when there's lots of minerals present or when it's next to water-loving surfaces, such as you get in normal cellular tissue in the body, is that water has a structure, or if you like, it has crystalline properties. Now, while that matters is that as soon as you have a structure, you're basically able to record and imprint information into that structure, which is extremely useful when you're trying to transmit information into the body.
So we did experiments, and the experiments showed that really there is a fourth phase of water. And the fourth phase of water is somewhere in between a liquid and a solid. It's a kind of crystalline type of water, and there's a lot of it. You know, people have questioned the idea of water memory for good reason. And the good reason is that the studies have shown that H2O, the stuff that's here, that the molecules are moving around at a very high rate, a femtosecond rate. And so any molecules that are randomly organized and moving around so quickly, it's hard to imagine that it could store any information whatsoever. Okay, but now we've discovered the EZ water, and this EZ water has a crystal-like structure. It's sort of like computer memory. If you think about computer memory, the computer memory is basically silicon dioxide atoms arranged in a regular three-dimensional array. This is similar to that. And so there's a possibility that the same principle that's used in computer arrays could be used here. So the possibility exists that this could store information. When we first started working with water and discovering this phase of water, we didn't, of course, at first know the structure. And the idea of information in water was something that seemed weird and strange and, you know, maybe possible. But now, with each passing year and seeing information, experimental evidence, clear experimental evidence that it can exist, it has changed my view a lot.
In the late 1980s, Jack Benavista was able to show how he could take a dilution of antibodies and get them to affect white blood cells, and he was doing this again to the point where there was no actual antibodies and all that was left was pure information in water and able to in turn affect the white blood cells. What was more incredible was he was not only able to use dilute antibodies to create this effect, he was also able to record the information of the antibodies and then imprint that information back into the water and expose the white blood cells to that imprinted water and those white blood cells to react as though the antibody was present. Antibodies and genetic material can be transmitted digitally via imprinted water. Now, the Nobel Prize winner Luc Montagnier, he took Jack Benavista's research further and not only showed that you could transmit an antibody digitally, you could also transmit genetic material digitally too. So he was able to record genetic information, then transmit it into a sample of water and had a number of base pairs in it, and then just from the information and the base pairs was able to reconstruct the original genetic strand.
The first time I heard about Dr. Montagnier's work, it's just unbelievable, and we believe the key point relies on the structure of the water that can actually contain the information. Dr. Montagnier is an expert in DNA and virus field, He discovered the HIV for AIDS. So he put a segment of HIV virus in the first glass of water, and later on he used the second glass of water to do a DNA amplification. Very, very interestingly, the second glass of water after DNA amplification find the exactly same sequence as the DNA Dr. Montagnier put into the first glass of water. And it's been double-blind experiment be conducted. If that experiment really worked, that means not only water can talk, communicate, transfer information from one body to the other, they also has to have a memory.
Now I've seen enough evidence that certain kinds of waters can actually reverse pathologies. This is the future.
So what Peter and I did is we took this gene information idea a little bit further, because what really matters when you're trying to heal someone is the particular epigenetic expression, because that is what decides which proteins are going to be made to repair particular parts of your body. Now we took this concept further by directly recording the positive expression of epigenetic information of healthy tissue, which has since become a breakthrough in non-invasive healing.
And I've seen some therapies also presented where information is actually given or transferred to the cells, and some of this seems to have a beneficial effect on health. So your cells and my cells are susceptible to information that we receive from the outside. I think there's a lot of promise out there.